Shannon.
And I'm Holly.
And this is a Girls Gone Curious podcast, where we talk about things that make us curious. So grab your favorite drink, sit back and relax because your show is loading. Today's episode includes the following trigger warnings: mentioning topics of bodily harm, torture, satanic worship, and murder. This podcast is not suitable for children. Please listen with care. We do apologize if we say any of the names or places wrong in today's case. This week's true crime category is woman killers. So let's get into it.
Job Corps was created under the Economic Opportunity Act in 1964. The idea was to help young teens and adults, anywhere from 16 to 24 years old, combat poverty and unemployment. In these centers, it would provide education, vocational training, and work experience. However, some would use this opportunity to pick out a victim to torture and kill them.
Bitch.
Because we wouldn't be here if there wasn't. Colleen Slimmer was born on September 20th, 1975. There are multiple sources saying she was from Pennsylvania. However, when I watched a video that had her mother in it, she said Colleen was born and raised in Florida.
So obviously we're going to go by what her mom says.
Yeah. But I do want to mention that pretty much all of the articles say she's born in Pennsylvania.
Really?
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Colleen's parents split up when she was younger, and I'm not sure if her dad continued to be in the picture or not. What I do know is that Colleen was raised by her mother and her stepfather, and she also had a younger sister. As a kid, Colleen liked roller skating, playing outside, and helping others. After growing up, in 1994, she decided she wanted to join the Job Corps. This was believed to be because of financial issues she was facing at the time. At first, her mother, May, and her stepfather didn't agree. The closest Job Corps near her was in Tennessee. This would be her first time being so far away from home. But this didn't faze her at all. May described her daughter as a go-getter and independent. So, on October 31st, 1994, Colleen would leave her home to join the Job Corps. She had an interest in computers and would begin a 6-month-long course. This would be the last time any of her family members would see her alive. One of the teachers, Joe Mode, would say that he and Colleen talked a lot after class. They would pretty much talk about life and what was happening. He worked at the Job Corps from 1992 to April of 1995. He would teach cultural awareness, reading, and parenting skills. At the time when Colleen was there was about 350 students. Joe described her as sweet, mild-mannered, quiet, and a promising student. Joe would also say that instead of the Job Corps being somewhere promising students could get an education, it turned into a place where juveniles were sent. If you committed a criminal act and weren't placed into prison, essentially you were sent there. This would turn into a place where those types of kids could attack the promising students that were just trying to change their life around. So, a lot of bullying, harassment, and stealing would cause other students to leave. When talking to her mom, Colleen would mention that a group of 3 people were bothering her, 2 girls and 1 boy. They would come into her room and steal her things, along with bullying and harassing her. May would ask for their names, but Colleen would never give them. One of these people would be 18-year-old Christa Pike. Pike dropped out of school and moved from North Carolina to Knoxville, Tennessee, to join the Job Corps. She would join their nursing program in January of 1995, so a couple months after Colleen started. Growing up, she moved from family member to family member. Her mother never played a big role in her life, choosing the party life over her, and always making sure there was alcohol at home rather than food. It would later come out that Pike suffered from emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, and a lot of it would come from her mother's boyfriends. Again, this isn't an excuse. I'm just sharing the background.
Right, the whole story.
Yeah. After starting, she would meet Kim Iloilo, and they would become close friends. In an interview, Kim later claimed that Pike was the type of friend to just do something to make them feel better. Kim would introduce Pike to 17-year-old Daryl Shipp, and the rest would be history. They would immediately start dating. The only problem was Pike's jealousy. She was extremely possessive of Shipp. When Colleen first started at Job Corps, Shipp showed interest in her. There are rumors that said that he would try to get with her and she would turn him down. But again, those are just rumors. We don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Kim would say that as soon as Pike started going there, any feelings towards Colleen would end. He would immediately begin his relationship with Pike. So it makes me wonder what exactly happened to make Pike hate Colleen so much.
Mm-hmm.
Pike apparently blamed all of her next actions on the fact that Colleen wanted to sleep with Shipp. However, if you were to ask other people who went to the Job Corps at the same time, they would say that that wasn't true. Or if it was, Colleen wasn't acting on it. Kim would say on a Saturday afternoon, a group of 12 to 13 people got together to hang out. This included Kim, Pike, Shipp, and another friend, Shadola Peterson. They were talking like any normal teenage group would, who they had the crush on and the type of people they liked. And at some point, Colleen's name came up. And Pike said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kill her." Kim responded with, "Would you leave that girl alone? She didn't do anything to you." Kim would claim that Pike would just then smile and wink at her before moving on to the next topic. I don't know if the Saturday is the Saturday before the events happen or if it was a previous one.
Okay.
January 12th, 1995, 3 people would commit a crime that they wouldn't be able to take back. According to Kim, Pike came into her room to tell her they were going to the park. 4 of them. Pike, Shipp, Peterson, and Colleen. Kim would ask why, and Pike would just tell her to smoke some marijuana. Once again, Pike would wink and smile at Kim before leaving her room. So Kim wasn't involved in this. She was basically just seeing them go. And for whatever reason, Pike came in and told her what she was doing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Kim would watch from the balcony as the 4 members signed out and left the job corps. She regrets never saying anything or doing anything. At 8:50 p.m., the 4 of them would leave Job Corps with the intention of smoking weed. Or, at least, that is what Colleen believed. She had no idea what was actually going to happen. No idea that the plan that Pike had set out for her. They would walk towards Tyson Park, down Cumberland Ave, eventually cutting through under a bridge that put them near the University of Tennessee. During all this time, Colleen is probably believing she's just going to hang out with friends. Maybe just get a little high, whether that was because she wanted to, or because she was finally invited to hang out with this group. Either way, this is not at all what Pike's plan was. Pike would later claim that her plan was just to beat her up a little, just to scare her. But was that the real intention when she would bring along a box cutter and a meat cleaver? In my opinion, you don't bring weapons that could kill someone to just scare them. But I'm not a serial killer, so what do I know? Once they reached a remote area near the University of Tennessee border, they all turned on Colleen. Pike and Ship would take turns kicking and punching her. Peterson would claim that she was only there to be a lookout and never actually participated in the act. But you still let it happen. While hitting her, Pike would call her names and blame her for trying to take Ship from her. Colleen would go through 30 to 60 minutes of torture, trying her best to get away and survive. Along with the kicking and punching, they would also stab and cut her. Later in the autopsy, it would show that Colleen suffered over 300 stab wounds. While trying to crawl away, Pike later said she remembers cutting a long line down her back. If that wasn't enough, after taking off the top half of her clothes, Pike would hold her down. Ship would carve a pentagram into her chest while she was still alive. Later, he claimed this was to complete a satanic ritual. And when retelling Kim the events, Pike would also mention cutting Colleen's throat at least 9 times. At some point, Colleen would beg, saying, "If you'll let me go, I'll hitchhike out of here and go home tonight." Pike would respond with, "You know it's too late for that. You do know who's killing you." But then Pike would later say while attacking Colleen, she was trying to decide what to do, thinking that she couldn't just let her go because she'd most likely be cut from the Job Corps program. Like, out of everything you're worried about, you're worried whether or not you'll still go to Job Corps. Not the fact that you could go to prison or the fact that you're actually thinking about killing someone.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. While trying to crawl away once again, Pike would pick up a rock or a piece of asphalt and throw it at her head. In an interview, Pike would say, "The bitch wouldn't die." While hitting her in the head with asphalt, she would stop and ask Colleen, "Do you know who's doing this to you?" Colleen could only respond with a moan, which gave Pike the initiative to continue. It is believed that Colleen's death would be caused by getting hit in the head.
Oh my God.
If torturing someone is not enough, then Pike would take the extra mile. She would pluck a piece of Colleen's skull to take it back with her as a souvenir.
What the fuck?
Pike later claimed she didn't do this or the carving, but many people would come forward telling police about her bragging about it, even taking the piece of skull to breakfast the next morning. Police would find this piece of skull in her pocket of one of her jackets. So it's like, you're kind of shit out of luck there, because literally found it in your jacket.
Mm-hmm.
So, the three pieces of shit, Pike, Shipp, and Peterson, would all walk back to the job corpse. They made sure to stop at the gas station to wash off what blood they could. All three of them would sign back in. Multiple people remember seeing 4 of them leave, but only 3 return. They left Colleen's body there, half covered, half out in the open. Along with scattering her clothes, they took off her in the surrounding area. One of the first things Pike did was visit Kim. Pike would explain everything that happened, saying that Colleen just wouldn't die after cutting her throat and stabbing her multiple times. She would even show Kim her souvenir. Kim didn't really know what to do or what to say. Pike would leave her room, but not before saying that if she told anyone anything, she would kill her too. And once again, she would smile and wink at Kim, telling Kim she loves her and she'll see her in the morning. At the time, Kim was only 16 years old. And like, what the fuck do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Someone just told you they brutally murdered someone.
And she's a kid herself, like.
And she says, "Oh, if you say anything, I'll kill you too."
Mm-hmm.
And she literally has a piece
of the person's skull.
Yeah. I'd be fucking traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
Around 8 in the morning, on January 13th, Colleen's body was found. This is just the day after. A ground worker for the University of Tennessee would stumble upon her body in the woods face down, half displayed, half covered up. Court records said he testified that the body was so badly beaten that he had first mistaken it for the corpse of an animal. They claimed it was hardly recognizable as a human being. May, Colleen's mom, would later say in an interview that she tried to contact Colleen all night and into the morning. Every time she would call, they would tell her that Colleen wasn't in her room and to try again later. At some point, May had to take her other daughter to the doctors. And during this time, she would miss a call from Randy York. York would be the lead detective on Colleen's case. He would leave a message for May, telling her to contact him, while also mentioning he was a homicide detective.
I couldn't even imagine what.
I can't imagine what hearing a message like that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fact that you have to call him back, probably already knowing why he called in the first place.
Yeah.
On the phone, he would ask May to send Colleen's dental records to confirm her identity.
Damn.
York would be one of the first ones to the crime scene. He remembers going there and only seeing her in blue jeans and nothing on the top of her body, along with carvings on her chest, multiple stab wounds, and multiple cuts on her throat. One of the first places he would investigate would be the job corps. He would check the sign-in, sign-out sheet and notice that 4 signing out, but only 3 signing back in the previous night. There was also an open secret at this job corps. A small group that included Pike and Chip practiced Satanism. When investigating their rooms, they would find Satan books and altars. Along with these, they would also find bloody and muddy clothing Pike wore that night. And I'm pretty sure along with the piece of the skull in her jacket.
Wow.
I'm assuming that's all at the same time. Putting a guard outside of each of the 3 rooms, York would begin investigating them one by one. The deeper they got into investigating and searching, the more they realized it seemed they were deep into satanic worship. And shockingly, not really shockingly, Pike was the ringleader. I'm not too sure if Peterson was part of the satanic group or not. Didn't really say that. All I know is that for sure Pike and Chip were. And they also did have tattoos that showed like Satan worship, basically. At least Pike's tattoo was like a little like devil on her shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Which I mean, could just be a tattoo, but if they're actually practicing Satanism, I just wanted to include that. I didn't include it anywhere else, but it's not really important, but I don't...
It's interesting, though.
Interesting. At first, they would deny having anything to do with it, but eventually, someone broke. Peterson would confess to being the lookout while they committed this murder. Peterson would take the deal of becoming an informant for a lighter sentence. Once word got to Pike, she would confess. While in custody, she would tell every detail of what she did. Not only talking about it, but also acting out the parts. Both her and Colleen's part. Physically playing the victim and the killer. York described her as giddy while describing everything that happened. That it seemed she was so happy to the point that she started acting silly. Dr. Lena Haji, a clinical psychologist, would say that she most likely enjoyed torturing Colleen.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it.
Yeah. January 15th, 1995, Pike, Chip, and Peterson would be all charged with Colleen's murder. Pike's trial would start in March of 1996. All throughout her trial, she would seem happy and content. Like she didn't just murder someone. She would smile and laugh, and if she knew someone in the courtroom, she would wave at them. Like she's not there for literally killing someone. Kim would testify against Pike, and this testimony was important. It showed how Pike didn't have any regret after killing Colleen. The court needed to know how she was acting after the fact. Colleen's skull would be used in the court. They would show that the piece found in Pike's jacket fit perfectly into her skull, proving that she did in fact take a piece as a souvenir. March 22nd, 1996, after about an hour of deliberation, Pike was found guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. March 30th, 1996, she was sentenced to death by electrocution chair, plus 25 years for the conspiracy. At her sentencing, she would begin to break down and cry. But only a few hours later, on the same day, she would write a letter to Ship, telling him, "Can you believe what they are doing to me?" And she pretty much laughs about the whole situation and doesn't take it seriously, showing no signs of regret or remorse. Both Ship and Peterson would be charged as minors, because at the time they were both 17.
Oh, okay.
Ship would get a life sentence plus 25 years. He was up for parole in November 2025, but the parole board denied him parole in October of 2025. They would say it's due to the seriousness of the offense. They recommended that Ship complete a program recommended by a risk prediction assessment and maintain positive behavior to improve his chances to parole next time. The next review of his case will be sometime in 2030 or 2031. Peterson pled guilty to being an accessory after the fact. She was only sentenced to 6 years of probation. Pike was sent straight to Deborah K. Johnson Rehabilitation Center in Nashville after her sentencing. While there, in 2001, she would attack another inmate. This would be Patricia Jones. Jones was in prison for stabbing an elderly woman to death. Jones didn't like Pike's alleged lover, Natasha Cornett. And with knowing Pike's history, I think we know where this is going. August 24th, 2001, a fire broke out, and the official took all 3 women and put them in the same room while dealing with the fire. I don't know if this room was just the 3 of them or if there was others as well. But Pike and Cornett took this opportunity to attack Jones. Cornett would try to punch Jones and miss. Pike would attack and use a shoelace or string of some sort to wrap around Jones' neck. Falling to the ground, Pike continued strangling Jones. Officials would come in and stop the attack. When they arrived, Jones wasn't breathing, and they had to do CPR to get her breathing again. When asked what happened, Pike told the truth, telling them that she attacked Jones. August 12th, 2004, Pike would attend trial and be convicted of attempted first-degree murder, getting an additional 25 years added to her sentence. But, she stopped breathing, so isn't that considered, or is it when the heart stops that it's considered?
I mean, she stopped, like you said, she stopped breathing, so I mean,
that's so confusing.
She died.
It's attempted murder, but, she did
Actually,
strangulate her until she stopped breathing.
Yeah.
In 2012, Pike was linked to a potential prison escape. She was writing letters to 2 different men, convincing them to help her break out. One of the men was in New Jersey, and the other was a corrupted correctional officer. He would go as far as to create a key copy that would help her get out.
Oh my God.
Fortunately, they noticed the suspicious actions he was taking and stopped him. He was fired. I mean, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You'd hope so.
Yeah. There is no report that Pike was officially charged with this crime, though. And I don't know about the whole guy from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how the fuck is a New Jersey person supposed to help you break out of a prison in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, that's fucking whatever, I guess. Pike's attorney would try at least 3 times to get her off death row. They would both try to appeal to the federal and state court. In July 2002, they filed for an appeal, but it was denied. In 2008, they appealed for a retrial, but this was also denied. In 2014, they appealed for her to be taken off death row due to her only being 18 at the time, and because she suffers from mental illness. This was also denied.
Was power to blow a gasket.
During an interview, Pike was asked, "What do you think when you think about the electric chair?" She would respond with, "I don't really think about that because I don't think I'm ever going to see it." And also saying, "I still have a lot of hope, and I know I don't deserve to be where I'm at." And Pike does not show any real remorse or regret for what she did. And she never apologizes for her actions. On September 30th, 2025, the Tennessee Supreme Court set a date for her execution. The order granted a scheduling request for the death warrant carried out on September 30th, 2026. This would be at the River Bend Maximum Security Institution in Nashville. The prison warden is obligated to notify Pike of the method that the Department of Correction will use to execute her by August 28th. Condemned inmates in Tennessee usually die by lethal injection. But since Pike committed the crime before January 1st, 1999, they can choose the electric chair. This is a side note. 5 inmates between 2018 and 2019 that committed the crime before January 1st, 1999 chose electrocution as their preferred execution. Which is like, that's fucking mind. Like, why would you?
I think because there is a chance that if you are electrocuted, some very, very few, but have survived it. And because I can't remember.
Because you technically were executed, but survived,
then you are free after that.
What the fuck?
I don't know the number. Like, I was gonna
look it up.
Yeah.
You said it's 4 of them?
Yeah, 4 individuals who have survived electrocution.
And then were freed?
I don't know if they were all freed, but they were, because they chose to be electrocuted and they survived it. Technically, they're supposed to be free after that because
What the fuck?
Yeah.
If this execution is carried out, Pike will become the first woman executed in Tennessee in the past 200 years.
Damn.
Another side note, since 1976, only 18 women in the U.S. have been executed. whereas there have been 1,623 executions of men since 1976. Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Pike would write to the Tennessean and said she takes full responsibility for the murder, and she had changed drastically since then. She said a bunch of other bullshit, but I'm not going to read it out. You can just look it up if you want to know everything she said. But the gist of it is she just said she did it and takes responsibility, but yet doesn't apologize for her actions. While in prison for 27 years, she spent her time in solitary confinement until she won the ability to interact with other inmates. And I believe she won it after suing the prison or jail. She would be able to interact with others during meals, classes, and religious services. They said that the reason why she was in solitary confinement at the time was because she was the only one on death row in that prison. But if you think this is the end of the case, you'd be wrong. Because once again, Pike is trying to pull some bullshit way of getting out of being sentenced to death. On January 8th, 2026, Pike filed a lawsuit to Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skirmity, Commissioner of Tennessee Department of Correction Frank Strada, and the wardens of River Bend Maximum Security Prison and Deborah K. Johnson Rehabilitation Center. Her argument is that the new one-drug protocol, lethal injection of pentobarbital, instead of their 3 cocktail used in 2018 to 2020, violates U.S. and Tennessee constitutions due to Pike's unique medical condition. According to the lawsuit, it violates her First, 8th, and 14th Amendment. It fails to provide a contingency plan with emergency medical services in case the execution goes wrong. It will cause cruel and unusual punishment due to her rare blood cancer that affects how her blood clots, saying that she has thrombocytosis, claiming that the injection will cause her to basically drown in her own blood. Also claiming that she has always had problems with needles because she has small veins and they don't provide butterfly needles. She would also say that she practices Buddhism and the requirement that she plead an alternative method violates her sincerely held religious beliefs against participating in any process leading to her own death. So pretty much she's suing because it might hurt when she dies and it goes against her religious beliefs. Another side note, thrombocytosis is a disorder in which your body produces too much platelets. The bone marrow inside your bones contains stem cells that produce red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Platelets stick together to form clots to stop bleeding from a damaged blood vessel like a cut. There are 2 types of thrombocytosis, reactive and essential thrombocythemia. Reactive is more common and is caused by underlying medical problems like blood loss, cancer, infections, iron deficiency, removal of the spleen, hemolytic anemia, inflammatory disorders, and surgeries or traumas. Essential thrombocythemia causes are unclear. They seem to be linked to changes in certain genes. If Pike succeeds in her lawsuit, it will be the first time Tennessee will ever have to modify the execution process. May, Colleen's mom, has said, "If it was up to me, I would have did to her what she did to Colleen, because I think that she deserves that."
Mm-hmm.
She also said, "I just want Christa down so I can end it, relieve my daughter, so she can finally be resting. There's not a day goes by that I don't think about Colleen, or how she died and how rough it was." May also admitted to having nightmares almost every night because of what happened.
Well, yeah, she sends her baby across the country pretty much. Well, not really. Well, where was...
Florida to Tennessee.
Yeah, okay, so not across the country, but she still sends her baby away.
Yeah.
And her daughter dies in the first year.
Yeah.
Like...
Only because she started there, like, she left her home in October.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pike came in January. So she was only there a couple months.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I do have some mentionings. Pike's attorney argued that if she went through trial now, she wouldn't be sentenced to death. Because she suffered through abuse and trauma at a young age, she deserves life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Colleen deserves to be breathing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They also claim that Pike supposedly was diagnosed with bipolar and PTSD, but not until years after the fact. It's like, so fucking what?
Okay, and?
She's smart enough to know what the fuck she's doing.
Yeah.
And obviously she's fucking very manipulative.
Yeah.
Now into questions and thoughts besides what the fuck, because that's our slogan.
Yeah, that is our slogan this year. And we're just barely starting.
Yeah. My next question is electrical chair. She doesn't want the injections. She can have the electrical chair.
Yeah.
Or is she just claiming that will be unconstitutional too?
I think because it's towards the end, basically. She is going to try and do every trick in the book, or her attorneys are going to do every trick in the book to get it to stop. Or, yes, and that's why I think she chose the electrical chair, because it's very slim, but there is a possibility that she could survive it. And as far as
It doesn't say that she physically chose electric chair.
Okay.
She's just, I think she's trying to get out of both.
Gotcha.
Honestly.
Because she doesn't,
yeah.
Nobody wants to die, but she's not wanting to be executed.
Yeah.
And, but I'm sure Colleen wasn't wanting to be murdered.
Brutally.
Yeah, and stabbed
tortured.
over 300 times.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she didn't want that either.
Yeah. And the other question, if not the injection or the chair, then what? Hanging and shooting?
Yeah, I can't remember what state it was, but there was a state that is bringing back, like...
Shooting and hanging?
What is that called? That they're bringing back the firing squad.
I think we looked it up one time.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but I do remember looking it up as well.
But the thing is, all of the methods of execution could possibly go wrong.
Right.
There's no positive...
Right.
Like, for sure, you're dead.
Mm-hmm. There's something that could go wrong in each situation. And I'm assuming the pause on executions for members that are on death row the pause is off. I'm assuming if her execution date is scheduled for this year.
Yeah, it's scheduled they scheduled it in September of this last September. And then she just filed all this stuff in January. So I don't know if it's still scheduled or if it's on a pause.
Yeah.
I think it's first figuring out if this lawsuit is going to actually go through or not.
Yeah. And not really a question, more of a thought. I guess it could be a question, but so she was definitely a Satan worshiper going in. and now she switched to Buddhism because it suits her, even though Buddhism says bring no harm to yourself or others.
Yeah. Even though she killed someone?
Yeah.
Even if Colleen didn't die, she was hurting them.
Yeah.
Hurting her.
And then the other person that she
strangled in prison?
Yeah, in prison.
Yeah.
So was she practicing the new religion at that time? It's more like a what suits her needs type of thing.
It's more like she just started practicing this because it, like you said, suits her needs.
Yeah.
And being executed isn't supposed to be peaceful.
Right.
You're being executed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can both agree that we think she's just making up bullshit to get herself out of this.
Yeah, I agree.
Or postpone it.
Mm-hmm. So because the attorneys are using the excuses now that basically if she was tried now, she wouldn't get the death penalty, which they can't say that for sure.
No.
I mean, obviously there's a bigger chance that she probably wouldn't get the death penalty. She'd probably get life in prison. But they can't guarantee that that's what she's going to get.
Yeah.
And even then, like, it's not now. It happened a while ago. So
it happened in 1995.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can answer this question, but I was wondering, so May said that Colleen went to the Job Corps because she was experiencing financial issues.
Yeah.
What financial issues was
she? I
was just curious, like, she's a teenager. What was she?
I'm not quite sure. I think it possibly could have been because Colleen wanted to move out of the house and be on her own.
Oh, okay.
So she just wanted to go there. It's only a 6-month program to get a job and get out on her own. Okay. I don't know if they had, like, her mom and stepfather had financial issues or not. Oh, okay. I can't really, answer. I can't really answer that. I just wrote what I found.
Yeah, absolutely.
And May and her stepfather didn't want her leaving, like, at all, because it was a couple states away. But,
excuse me, and she's still a kid.
Yeah. But they just said that, May just said that she's independent and a go-getter, so
yeah,
they eventually just agreed to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe she was 18 at the time.
Oh, okay. So even if...
She was born 1975. And it was 1995.
75, 85, 95. She was 20?
When she left, she was still 18. She was born in September. Okay. So she was turning 20.
Okay.
I don't know. She was 19 then?
Yeah, I think so.
Then she was 19.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then she's,
She's like, I mean...
She's still a teenager. I mean,
she's a teenager, but
19,
like...
but she's also you know how I feel about it, but adult as well.
Well, and there's also family out there that says, like, oh, once you're 18, you gotta go.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that was
the case.
I feel like Colleen just personally wanted to get out on her own.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how the whole family dynamic worked. Mm-hmm. I don't know if everyone did get along or if her mom was saying things that, or didn't say things that was actually going on in the family.
Gotcha.
So I just went by what she has said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I can't imagine that there was any badness or anything like that in the family. But honestly, we don't know because every family's different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, any more questions or thoughts?
I don't think so. Just what the fuck?
Yeah. When I first started this, I didn't think it was going to be this fucking heavy.
Yeah.
I just seen that this girl, the main thing that caught me was like the first woman possibly being executed in Tennessee in the past 200 years. So like that kind of grabbed me. Yeah. So I was like,
oh yeah.
Okay, let's do this and fucking Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy to me that I picked out this case and just started researching, and then a week later, a new article comes out on it.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That's wild.
Like, holy shit, that fast? I wish we could have updates on cases that quickly.
Yeah.
With all of our cases.
But I mean, she was sentenced in September, so it was a couple months before, like, the official paperwork got through.
Yeah, true.
That she was trying to sue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fucking bullshit. I don't believe she's actually religious. If she is religious, she worships Satan.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I believe it's a, I mean,
I do.
I'm a believer in people can change,
Yeah.
absolutely, but I don't foresee this.
I don't see her
instance.
changing.
Mm-mm.
In all of the stuff I've read, she's never apologized for anything.
Yeah.
And she, like, just recently came out saying, like, yeah, she takes responsibility for her actions, but she isn't necessarily remorseful or sorry.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And if you were true Buddhism, you would have a lot more regret and remorse. Okay. Is that all your questions? And
yeah, I think so. I don't have anything else for today. For this case.
For this case, anyway.
Yeah. Our hearts go out to the victims in this case and all individuals affected. With that is all we have for today. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Girls Gone Curious Podcast. Until next time.